Hello everyone and welcome back to KORR Monsters, and welcome to KORR Monsters Finals 8 Racing. We'll take a look at our lineup of trucks to get us started off here. 24 trucks in the field, biggest field yet in KORR Monsters history. Starting off, we got Herbert Miller in Airborne Assault, Mark Moody in B4 Brakes Car Parts, Ed Jenkins in Bull Tilt, Christian Holt in Busted Knuckles, Damon Newton in Comedic Gaskets, Trip Cassidy in Cottonmouth, Todd Yates in Doggone Crazy, James Whitaker making his finals return after a few years in Eagle Eye, Gene Martin in Glazed and Confused, Nico Brock in Grim Fate, David Langford in Howler, Harper Ray in Line-X Defender. Then we have Kyle Gibson driving Loud Pedal, Greg Easton in Monkey Business, Huxley Baxter in Moving Violation, reigning racing champion Lonnie Hall in Rambunctious, Randall Boone in Rat Trap 3, Opal Baxter in Reckless Red, Will Baldwin in Snowcat, Kinsley Parks in Sunoco, reigning freestyle champion Mike Maxwell in Tonka, Jack Schroeder in Try Me, Curtis Sparks in Wildcat, and then rounding out the field we have Henry Gibbons in Youngblood. Now before we get into racing, we have a couple stories from the pits earlier. Busted Knuckles debuting a brand new truck here at Finals, and he's going to be competing with it, so we'll have to see how that brand new truck for him does. Then, of course, we have Loud Pedal making its return. Didn't compete this year, didn't have a driver for it, but Kyle Gibson, driver of the second Comedic truck, got the invite, and he'll be driving Loud Pedal for this event. Then, as always, Try Me with a brand new look for this Finals, with the purple on purple with green highlights. And then Doggone Crazy debuting a brand new look. Unlike Try Me, this isn't just for Finals, this is the new look going forward for Doggone Crazy. But now we jump over to our racing bracket. To get us started here on the first side of the bracket, in round number 1, it'll be Doggone Crazy going up against Snowcat, Rat Trap going up against Tonka, Airborne Assault going up against Busted Knuckles, and Grim Fate going up against Monkey Business. And then, of course, Rambunctious, Sunoco, Loud Pedal, and Bull Tilt already have a bye into round number 2. Now on the other side of the bracket, also with a bye run into round number 2, we have Reckless Red, Try Me, Glazed and Confused, and Cottonmouth. But as for our round 1 matchups, it'll be B4 Brakes Car Parts going up against Eagle Eye, Howler going up against Line-X Defender, Moving Violation going up against Youngblood, and Comedic Gaskets going up against Wildcat. Now first race pulling up to the line, Snowcat and Doggone Crazy to get us started here at KORR Monsters Finals 8, and away they go. Down Thunder Alley they both head. Looks like Snowcat has an advantage already into the stadium here, and Snowcat with a couple truck advantage going into the turn. Both trucks going wide. Snowcat really wide. Coming to the line, it's going to be Snowcat by about a truck and a half getting the win, moving into round number 2. As next up, Tonka and Rat Trap pull up to the line. Both of these drivers former racing champions. Good start from both trucks. Into Thunder Alley, looking pretty even into the stadium. Looks like Rat Trap slight advantage going into the turn. Nice tight turn from Rat Trap. Good turn from Tonka. Rat Trap hits the center ramp. It's going to be Tonka getting the win. Rat Trap had it until he hit that ramp and cost him it. Next up, Busted Knuckles and Airborne Assault. First time this brand new Busted Knuckles is on track. Coming down Thunder Alley, looks close so far. Into the stadium, looking good. Airborne Assault a little wide in the turn. Busted Knuckles, little trip up. It's going to be Airborne Assault getting the win just barely over Busted Knuckles. Now we have Monkey Business and Grim Fate pulling up to the line. Good start from both trucks. Monkey Business might have a little bit of advantage going into the stadium here. Hard on the brakes for the turn. Grim Fate going to go wide. Monkey Business keeping it tight. At the line, it's going to be Grim Fate getting the win. Getting a good run out of that turn. Now we go to the other side of the bracket. Eagle Eye and B4 Brakes Car Parts pull up to the line. A good start from both trucks. Eagle Eye looks like has a little bit of an advantage coming into the stadium. Looks like B4 made it all up. Hard on the brakes for the turn. Once again, B4 goes really wide. Come to the line. It looks like it's going to be all Eagle Eye, and indeed it will be Eagle Eye picking up the win and moving on into round number 2. Now we have Line X Defender and Howler pulling up to the line. Good start from both trucks. Into the stadium, looking close. Coming around this turn, good turn from both trucks. At the line, however, it's going to be Line X Defender just edging out Howler. Beautiful set of runs there. And now we have Youngblood and Moving Violation pulling up to the line. Youngblood with an almost perfect light. Any quicker, he probably would have got a red light. Into the stadium, though. Looks like Moving Violation had the power down the straight. Goes a little wide in the turn. Youngblood keeps it tight. Come to the line. And it's going to be Moving Violation with the run out of that turn to get the win. Move on into round number 2. Now with one race left here in round number 1. Wildcat and Comedic Gaskets pull up to the line. Now Comedic Gaskets gets the jump on the Wildcat. Into the stadium we go. Comedic Gaskets still with about a half truck advantage. Both trucks about the same line in the turn. Wildcat goes a little wide. It's going to be Comedic Gaskets picking up the win here, getting that last spot into round number 2. And now we take a look at our round number 2 matchups. It'll be Rambunctious going up against Snowcat, Sunoco going up against Tonka, Loud Pedal going up against Airborne Assault, and Bull Tilt going up against Grim Fate. Now on the other side of the bracket, we have Reckless Red going up against Eagle Eye, Try Me going up against Line X Defender, Glazed and Confused going up against Moving Violation, and then we'll be ending off round number 2 of racing with Cottonmouth going up against Comedic Gaskets. Here we go, first race of round number 2, Snowcat and Rambunctious. Rambunctious, our reigning racing champion. Good start from both trucks down Thunder Alley. And it looks like Snowcat might have a bit of a lead here going into the turn. Coming to the line, and it's going to be Snowcat getting the win over our racing champion. So there'll be no back-to-back championship for Rambunctious, as now we have Tonka and Sunoco pulling up to the line. Great start from both trucks. Into the stadium they go. Slight advantage to Sunoco. Going wide into the turn, though. Tonka keeping it tight. Tonka hits the pole. And it'll be Kinsley Parks and Sunoco getting the win due to that penalty. Now we have Airborne Assault and Loud Pedal pulling up to the line. I haven't seen Loud Pedal since last finals. Down Thunder Alley, looking good so far. Keep in mind, that's a rookie driver in Loud Pedal. Coming to the line, who's it going to be? It looks like it's going to be Loud Pedal getting the win and getting into trouble, but he's going to save it. Now we have Grim Fate and Bull Tilt pulling up to the line. Good start from both trucks. Into the stadium, it looks like Bull Tilt has about a half truck advantage. But Bull Tilt's going to go wide. Grim Fate's going to keep it tighter. Coming to the line, it's going to be Bull Tilt passing Grim Fate in the air to get that win and go into the next round. Now we have Reckless Red and Eagle Eye starting us off on the other side of the bracket. Great start from both trucks. Pretty close at the line. First time by. Reckless Red going a little wide. Eagle Eye with that big Hemi. Not going to get the win. Reckless Red with another pass in the air. We're seeing that a lot out of that near lane. Now we have Line X Defender going up against Try Me. Great start from both trucks. Try Me pulling the front wheels up a little bit though. On the brakes, Try Me had a little bit of an advantage. But it's all going to come out to who gets the better exit from the turn. It's going to be Linux Defender by inches over Try Me. Now we have Moving Violation and Glazed and Confused pulling up to the line. Glazed and Confused with a great start. Moving Violation sleeping on the light. Into the stadium, it's all Glazed and Confused, but Moving Violation closing that gap up. Glazed and Confused goes really wide. Coming to the line, it's going to be Moving Violation picking up the win going into round number 3. Now last race of round number 2, Comedic Gaskets and Cottonmouth. Great start from both trucks. Into the stadium, Comedic Gaskets gets into trouble, clips the stadium, clips the ramps. Have to think that it's going to be an easy win for Cottonmouth, but not quite. Comedic not far back. Now Cottonmouth gets the win and gets into trouble after the finish. That was a wild race. But now we move on into round number 3, down to our last 8 trucks. We'll have Snowcat going up against Sunoco, and then Loud Pedal going up against Bolt Hill on one side, and then the other side of the bracket, it'll be Reckless Red and Linux Defender, and then Moving Violation and Cottonmouth. Here we go, first race of round number 3, Sunoco and Snowcat. Sunoco a little quicker on the tree. Into the stadium, who's it gonna be? Snowcat with about a truck length advantage goes super deep in the turn. Sunoco, much better turn, but Snowcat's gonna get the win, passing Sunoco in the air, using all that Hemi horsepower in the back of that cat. Now we have Bolt Hill and Loud Pedal pulling up the line. Great start from both trucks. Bolt Hill with a little bit of a lead going into the turn. Nice tight turn from Loud Pedal though. Come to the line, it's going to be Loud Pedal picking up the win. Going on into round number 4. Now we jump to the other side of the bracket. It's going to be Linux Defender and Reckless Red. Great start from both trucks. The Linux Defender have been pretty surprising this season. Out of the gate with how fast it's been in racing, but Reckless Red no slouch coming down to the turn. Reckless Red's going to go wide. Linux with a great turn at the line. It's going to be Linux Defender with one of the easiest wins of the night. Now last race of this round, Cottonmouth and Moving Violation. Waiting on that green light. Cottonmouth almost jumps the light. Nailed that light perfectly. Huge lead for Cottonmouth going into the turn. Little wide, but I don't think it's going to matter. It's going to be an easy win here for Cottonmouth going into round number 4. Now we are down to our semifinal. Snowcat and Loud Pedal on one side. Linux Defender and Cottonmouth on the other. Up to the line, Loud Pedal and Snowcat pull, waiting on the green light. And they are gone. Great start from both trucks. Everyone has been on their A game so far tonight. With that tree, Snowcat going wide into the turn once again, but it's worked for him every time. And it's going to work again. Snowcat going into your championship race here in Las Vegas. Now, other side of the bracket, second to last race, Cottonmouth and Linux Defender. Who's it going to be? Into the stadium we go. Slight advantage to Cottonmouth, but Cottonmouth gets squirrely on the brakes, goes really wide in the turn. Linux Defender with a good turn coming to the line. It's going to be Linux Defender by almost nothing, getting that win, which makes our championship race Will Baldwin in Snowcat and Harper Ray in Linux Defender. Neither one of these drivers have won a KORR Monsters championship yet. Reins away, Snowcat a little quicker on the tree than Defender. Into the stadium, looking good so far. Slight advantage maybe to Snowcat. Into the turn, both trucks going wide. It's all going to be horsepower here. It's going to be Linux Defender getting the win. Harper Ray is going to be your 2007 KORR Monsters racing champion. Congratulations to him getting his first KORR Monsters championship, and congrats to Linex getting a championship in their first season. But that is going to do it for us here this week. That has got to be one of the greatest racing events we've ever had. It was close finish after close finish all night long. Let us know what you thought about it down in the comments below. And be sure to check us out on Instagram to keep up to date with everything going on behind the scenes. And as always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next week for KORR Monsters Finals 8 Freestyle. We'll see you then.